Here's a situation I know a lot of QA teams are in right now. You've got Playwright running your UI tests, you've got Supertest or Postman running your API tests, two frameworks, two configs, two CI stages, two auth systems, and one afternoon you're debugging why your UI and API stages are producing different auth tokens because the two frameworks are initializing sessions differently. That afternoon cost my team more time than the migration. 8 months ago, we moved our REST and GraphQL contract tests inside Playwright, one framework for everything. Today, I'll show you exactly what that looks like in code, where it works best, and where the limitations sit. Let's get into it. Playwright ships a built-in HTTP client called APIRequestContext. No additional install, no new package. The same Playwright you use for browser tests exposes it directly. But here's the architectural detail that makes this worth talking about. APIRequestContext shares Playwright's fixture system. That means the same base URL and auth headers are threaded through both your browser and API tests using the same config. You write the auth logic once. Both test types use it. This eliminates synchronization bugs between your UI and API layers. That's the case for consolidation. Now let's look at the three-layered setup. Layer 1 is a shared session scoped fixture. Auth token generated once, reused across every test in the session. Layer 2 is REST and GraphQL tests, both written as plain Python functions with the same HTTP client. Layer 3 is the CI gate. API contract tests run first as a fast pre-check before the browser suite starts. Now let's build each layer. We'll start with the foundation, the shared API fixture. First, our session scoped fixture. This is created once per session, not once per test. If you have 200 API tests, session scope eliminates 200 unnecessary network calls for fresh tokens. This is where we set the auth globally. Every request carries the bearer token and content type automatically. And we finish with context disposed to release connections properly. Always include this clean teardown. Now let's look at standard REST testing. The code remains clean and readable. The GET test asserts the status and the schema we're asserting on the shape of the response, not just data. If a backend engineer removes the role field, this test fails immediately in CI before production. For the post test, we assert on status 201. A 200 here is technically wrong. This catches real API bugs. GraphQL is just REST under the hood. It's a post to a single endpoint with a JSON body. We use the same post method. No special GraphQL library needed. Playwright handles the serialization. Variables are passed as a simple dictionary. It's clean, readable, and keeps your tests simple. Crucially, GraphQL always returns HTTP 200 even when it fails. You must assert that errors are absent. Finally, let's look at the CI gate structure that makes this work in practice. We use pytest marks to run fast API contract tests first. If the gate fails, we don't waste time on browser tests. Both types share one conftest file. When the base URL changes, you update one place, not two environments. So, what actually changed after 8 months? Let's talk measurable improvements. Onboarding is easier. New engineers learn one framework for everything. The learning surface is half what it was. Auth sync bugs are gone entirely. The bugs that triggered our migration simply cannot happen anymore. Maintenance overhead is down. Config changes and dependency updates now happen in a single location. But what didn't change is raw features. Playwright is capable enough, but specialized tools still have a role. Consolidation has limits. Here are 3 honest caveats you should know about. 1. No WebSocket or gRPC support. If you need streaming or binary protocols, you still need specialized tools. 2. Python documentation sometimes lags behind TypeScript. You might need to infer some patterns from TS examples. 3. Flaky tests need different strategies. Use tools like DeFlaky to track network timeouts and race conditions. Consolidation is strongest when sharing auth context. If your suites are decoupled, the value is smaller. And remember, consolidation is not compression. Keep your fast API gates separate from slow E2E suites. The question isn't if Playwright can handle APIs, it can. The question is if your current setup earns its overhead. One framework means one fewer thing between your team and shipping with confidence. Full code is in the description. For the complete Playwright series, visit Automate and Elevate on YouTube. See you in the next one.